Hello and welcome to 1000 for the Emperor and our fourth contribution from the Why Is It Cool series. At the same time, this is our first video in English, and though I'm not a native speaker, I hope you enjoy it. My name is Anna and I want to talk about Ynnari in the Ynnari as a fraction today. This video is a rather direct result of the fact that in my Warhammer 40k environment, the Emperor protects is a sentence I hear more often on some days than a normal greeting. So you will notice sometimes we take this hobby quite seriously. But when I get into conversations about lore and backgrounds and really want to talk about the Ynnari and my army, then I either get the answer that all Eldar are Xenos scum anyway, or that Ynnari are way too good because they win tournaments all the time that I've never heard of. We will see about that with the new index, by the way. So today I decided to, very heretically, take a look at the pure background at the Ynnari and tell you why I think that they are cool. So here are my 4 most important reasons why I like the Ynnari. Number 1. The storyline. From Eldar Ulthran's sacrifice and his resistance against the will of the United Craftworlds, to the fact that only a partial success was achieved. For the Eldari, Ynnari has become more of a promise and awake hope than their salvation. The attempt to awaken the nascent god early brought help and hope, but also created many problems. So the plan and the danger of Ynnari's awakening for the chaos became obvious, and how desperate the situation truly is shown by the fact that Yvraine, as the chosen one of the god of the dead, awakens Guilliman. For me, this action is not an act of mercy, but of desperation. Yvraine knows that the Eldar will have to face a counterattack from the moment of the divine awakening, and she revives Guilliman's comatose body to create a distraction, to force a debt on the Empire, and to use the armies of humanity as a shield while working on Ynnari's complete return. For me, with Ynnari's appearance, the endgame of the Eldari begins. The dead god is their last hope, and the noble restraint of the past millennia is no longer a solution. It makes the Eldar more involved, and not just passive bystanders of a hostile universe who have nothing to gain but everything to lose. The current story gives the Eldar a kind of last blaze of glory moment that I personally love very much. Number 2. The union of the Eldari. There are so many great backgrounds, and finally I can integrate almost all of them into my army. I can lead witch cults under Lilith Hesperex into battle at the side of noble autarchs, and mad dancing harlequins jump around between them. It's completely credible because Ynnari is the salvation of all Eldari, not just of one of the scattered races that have evolved from the former realm of stars. If I wanted, I could even put up exodites riding on dinosaurs that now follow the chosen one of Ynnari. The unifying element of Ynnari opens up many options for a narrative army, and I for my part love the idea of how all these Eldar splinter groups, while religiously united, have to deal with that immense hatred between themselves, and how petty quarrels constantly break out and old wounds are torn open while necessity forces them together. Number 3. The hint of demonic corruption. Ynnari is not simply the deus ex machina who awakens from nowhere. His creation was planned for thousands of years, and at the same time it was spectacularly successful and failed fulminantly. Because in the end, Ynnari emerged from the dreams and desires of dead Eldar souls, and one thing that the Eldar as a race almost manically try to ignore is that Slaanesh is a part of them. They created him or her, and since that moment the whole Eldar race seems to have fallen into some strange kind of avoiding attitude. This fact I'd actually missed until a 40k Theories video came across with it. The avatar of Ynnari itself carries signs of a demonic Slaanesh corruption, and it is by definition an image of the soul of the Eldar people. Thus, Ynnari's awakening forces the Eldar to face this side of their existence and no longer understand Slaanesh as an external danger that can be simply ignored or escaped by soul sacrifices, hiding in the webway or iron discipline, but rather as a part of their own culture that has to be fought within themselves. And last but not least, number 4, Yvraine. For me personally, the absolutely most important point was Yvraine. When I started playing Warhammer 40k at the beginning of the 8th edition, I couldn't believe that this character actually existed. A former noble warrior who became a pirate, then was to be executed as a prisoner in Camorra's arenas and chosen by a newly awakening god as his envoy because she died at just the right time, and she has a cat? Oh, count me in. But seriously, the Eldar have always stood a little behind the other armies in the range of mercilessness and coolness. Several Eldar characters were either kept a little loveless or, by my standards, too tragic and internally broken. Yvraine is none of that. She has hope, a mission, and the competence to complete it. She's on an absolute par with the Primarch and Belisarius Call, and fights the enemies of the Eldar not for abstract reasons and visions of the future, but out of her faith and religious conviction. And that makes her, well, more human, more dramatic, and at the same time more real than many of the old Eldar heroes whose story I often felt could only end badly, well, even worse than it normally does in the 41st millennium. With Yvrain as a leader, an army randomly thrown together and torn apart by inattention, the stigma of Slanesh as a problem in one's own soul, and an even closer all-or-nothing moment, I find that the Ynnari are an insanely cool army to play with. I hope you had fun with our video and let me know your thoughts on the Ynnari in the comments. Bye and thanks for listening.